Hey guys, Ray Spray Wash. Hope everybody's doing good today, Monday, June 22nd. Once again, last night had a scammer contact me. I don't get as many as I used to. Let me back up. Pressure washing scammers, and I'm sure this happens in, all the trades out there. I know I've had landscapers tell me before, painters have told me this. What happens in real estate, I know real estate happens real bad. In pressure washing, if you've been doing this for any time at all, you've had these texts. If you're new at this, understand you're going to get texts that say, I just bought a house in your city and I need pressure washing, and do you take credit card? That's always a key component of it. Do you take a credit card? They'll say that in the first or the second sentence out there. This is most likely not a real job. 99.9% of the time, this is a scam. If you fall for it, you will at minimum waste your time. You will, if you actually engage in business on them, you're going to lose money. The way the scam works is pretty simple. As you are giving them a price, they'll say, that sounds great. There'll never be any negotiation. And they will tell you, I agree to your price, but I need you to do me a simple favor. And the simple favor is the electrician that is working at the house or the landscaper that is working at the house cannot accept credit cards, and I have to pay a fee to them. I have to pay one of their invoices. So I'm going to add that money in there onto your invoice. So I owe you $500 of the pressure washing job. I have an invoice of $1,000 over here, or $500 over to the electrician. I need you to pay that for me. And you know what? For being such an awesome guy and helping me out with this, give yourself a tip. You can give yourself 20-30% or add a couple $100 on there for doing this for me. I appreciate it. So what happens is, you being the nice guy and excited that you're going to make a couple $100 extra on this job, you're like, oh man, I'll do that. The house is always vacant, by the way. And you're thinking, man, I can do this. This will be great. This is easy money over here. And you're going to send that money off to their electrician friend. They've paid you with a bogus credit card or a stolen credit card. The problem is, the guy that you pay hasn't been paid with a stolen or bogus credit card. It's been paid with your credit card. It's been paid through your bank account. That money is not going to be recoverable. Known a lot of guys who've gotten scammed out of money this way. So don't do it. If it sounds too good to be true, just don't do it. I don't get nearly as many as I used to because all of my calls come through a switchboard. At this point, I know a lot of pressure washers, especially, starting out with the smaller companies, are operating off of their cell phones. Everything comes in here to my office and my office manager or my answering service, so I don't get the texts most times. Also, typically speaking, another key in this is they can't talk to you. They will give you a litany of excuses. I have seen anywhere from, I am a serviceman, I'm stationed overseas and I don't have access to telephones, all I can do is text, or I am currently in the hospital suffering from the diagnosis of lung cancer, and the doctor told me I cannot talk, but I can text. More recently, they have become more aggressive. This one you'll see, I'll put these photos, the screen caps up of the scam that I've been, playing with the guy here last day. They have been starting to call. This guy has been blowing my phone up. So they're getting a little more brazen in their attempts. If they do call you, it doesn't mean that it's not a scam. We used to always say, well, if they'd actually call me, it's not a scam. No, it's still a scam. But the key thing is, whenever they're much more concerned on whether you take credit cards than the actual quality of the job or the price of the job, you can bet that's a scam. So here's a copy of my latest communication with a scammer. You can read this. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of red flags that I would assume would make a person not want to hire a contractor whenever I'm insulting the property, saying it's not in a good neighborhood. You can also see that I've got a pretty exorbitant price, and then I talk about blasting his granules off the roof with a turbo nozzle on there. This should throw a red flag up. The person also gives me 2 different names for the property. Now, this is the invoice that I sent him. Wouldn't that really scare you off on an invoice? And I have one more call from him, or another text last night was coming at like 10 o'clock, and I responded back and I said, this is the Leon County Jail. This person is in community monitoring, cannot return calls until 7 a.m. the next morning. Otherwise, he would have wound up texting me all night long. So remember, don't fall for the scams. If you feel like having fun with it, have fun, but typically you're best off just to ignore it. Anyway, stay safe out there. Drink lots of fluid. We're getting into summertime. It's a hot time to be working, especially if you're out doing roofs. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Stay safe and wash on, guys.